I was headed there. Had the flowers on the passenger seat, had the guilt, had the grief. But when I got to the gate, my hands turned the wheel. I don't know if it was cowardice or courage. All I know is I drove past the graveyard instead of going in. And somehow, that saved me.
I drove past the graveyard instead of going in. Couldn't face the stone that had her name carved in the wind. The flowers on the seat beside me, wilting in the sun. I drove past the graveyard, the hardest thing I've ever done. 'Cause some graves are too heavy, and some grief is too deep. And some days staying alive means driving past the place you'd rather be.
She was only 29 when the cancer took her breath. I held her hand, I whispered prayers, I watched her beat her chest. And when she slipped away that night, something in me followed too. I've been walking like a ghost ever since she left the room. I visit every Sunday, never miss a single week. I bring those yellow roses that she used to kiss my cheek. But this morning when I woke up, I couldn't feel my legs. The weight of all that sorrow had me pinned onto the bed. I thought maybe if I join her, maybe if I just let go, I could finally stop the hurting, finally rest my aching soul. So I dressed in black like always, bought the flowers like I do. But when I reached the iron gates, I saw the sky was blue. And she always loved the blue sky, said it meant that God was near. So I drove right past the graveyard, and I shed my first tear. I drove past the graveyard instead of going in. Couldn't face the stone that had her name carved in the wind. The flowers on the seat beside me, wilting in the sun. I drove past the graveyard, the hardest thing I've ever done. 'Cause some graves are too heavy, and some grief is too deep. And some days staying alive means driving past the place you'd rather be. My brother's buried in that same ground, Section 24.
He was only 17 when he walked through death's back door.
I've been visiting him faithfully for 20 years this fall,
talking to a rectangle of granite, telling him about it all.
But yesterday my therapist said something I can't shake.
She said sometimes loving someone means you have to leave the gate.
Not forever, not for always,
just enough to feel the sun, just enough to let the living remind you you're not done.
So I drove past the graveyard
with my brother on my mind,
and I swear I heard him whisper,
"Sis, it's okay to be alive." I drove past the graveyard instead of going in. Couldn't face the storm some days staying alive means driving past the place you'd rather be.
The dead don't need the flowers, the dead don't need the tears, the dead don't need us standing there accumulated all these years.
They need us living fully, they need us finding light, they need us driving past the graveyard on the days we'd rather die.
She told me once, live big for both of us. So I'm trying, I'm still trying.
I drove past the graveyard instead of going in.
Felt the sun upon my shoulders,
Felt forgiveness on my skin.
the flowers on the seat beside me.
I let them fly into the wind.
I drove past the graveyard.
I'll come back when I can breathe again.
I'll come back when I'm stronger,
I'll come back when I can stand.
but today I drove past the graveyard.
And I chose the land of the living instead.
Yeah,
I chose the land of the living instead.
I pulled over about a mile down the road, scattered those yellow roses in a field where wildflowers grow. I think she would have liked that better than a stone.
Better than a vase.
I'll visit her again, just not today.
Today,
I'm still breathing, and she would want me to keep doing that.